All right. As far as today's college basketball goes, for those that bet second halves, we bet 601 over 139.5, 140, and 141 in the Incarnate Word versus Jacksonville game that's already tipped off. But anyone interested in live betting, I don't know what the score is as we speak. But if it's a betting opportunity for you, jump on board. We bet the over 139.5 through 141. We also have 606 Cleveland State -2, 2.5, and 3 in the later game. NBA action, 548 Washington at a pick'em and under 230. 552 Indiana pick'em and -1, under 232, 231.5, and 231. And finally, 560 under 225.5, 225, and 224.5 in Milwaukee, Phoenix. Quick look ahead to the Sweet 16. Already got down on 625 over 152 and 153, Arizona and Duke. No surprise, syndicates getting out ahead of the public on some of these overs. 627 over 173, 173.5, and 174. BYU, Alabama. Two sides as well. Florida, late 632 Florida, minus the 5.5. And 639 Kentucky, plus 5.5, plus 5, and plus 4.5. So already getting ahead of the Sweet 16 card.
Yeah, I've been holding my own on these totals too all season long. So let's go with the over in the Arkansas-Texas Tech game, 146.5. Both these teams have very efficient offenses. I can expect Calipari and Arkansas to try to speed this game up a little. You always have a chance with a foul fest in these type of games in late minutes. Let's use 147 as a guide. I'm looking at my DonBest at my odds screen here. So let's use like 147. But I think it's worth taking an early position on this over. Again, first half, I like to play a lot of unders first half, but I do like to bet overs for full games because of the fouls and situations there.
Right.
So let's go with the over there.
A lot of uncertainty with this Minnesota Timberwolves team tonight. Anthony Edwards, as of noon Eastern, is listed as questionable. So it's 50-50 if he's going to go or not. Obviously, he is an extremely key player. And the line is pricing in the fact he is 50-50 because it's gone from Pick'em, Indiana, now about a 2-point favorite. We've even seen some 2.5s out there. Total open 233. It's down to 229. So obviously the line move is based on no Edwards offensively. A little bit of a drop in the total. Difficult game to handicap for that reason. But I will say that I would lean Minnesota, especially if Edwards goes. If Edwards is healthy, definitely like them at Pick'em or dog. Mainly just due to the fact that Indiana hasn't really been playing anybody recently. Pacers entered this game on a nice win streak, 4 straight, 6 of their last 7 straight up, but they've only covered one of their last 6 games against the spread because they've been good-sized favorites in most of those. In fact, they've been an 8-point favorite or more in 4 of those last 6 games, and now they're a pick'em, maybe even a dog if Edwards was fully healthy. We also see teams step up without a key player. So even with that uncertainty of Anthony Edwards here, I'd lean Minnesota, but I'd like to know his status. And the beautiful thing about modern sports betting is that you can wait until tip-off. You can really see if he is physically on the court and then get an in-game line. If they are healthy, I think Minnesota's the better team. And keep in mind, Minnesota has won 9 of their last 11 still. They're starting to play better basketball, a team that really underachieved in the first half of the season. Bronny James out, but LeBron James in. Yeah, LeBron expected to play. He's listed as probable tonight. And they should have their full lineup here. It'll be a fun game to watch, at least on the LA side. Orlando, not a great offensive team, but against this Laker defense, I think they can score. I've been talking about this for weeks, and I was a little bit early. I said I thought the Lakers would be a much weaker defensive team after the trade. They got rid of Anthony Davis down low, one of the best defensive big men in the league. They got Doncic, who's a defensive liability, but a great offensive player. And we didn't see it initially. In fact, 9 out of 10 Laker games went under the total. But we've seen that reversal since, as I thought we would. And once we saw that reversal, as I said, start riding that over trend. After the 9-1 under run for the Lakers, they have now gone over in 6 of their last 8 games. The game on Saturday wasn't even close to going under. The Bulls scored 146 points. That game landed on, 261 total points. The total was 236. So it's over or pass for me at the Lakers here in the near future. I do have some concerns in this game, though, because once again, adding LeBron into the lineup could it disrupt a little bit? Probably not. LeBron is a great defender, but he's also 40 years old, so I don't think their defense has really improved that much. My big concern, though, with the game total is the Orlando Magic. They're not a great offensive team, as I mentioned, but With that said, Orlando has started to play better offensively, and they have quietly gone over in 6 of their last 9 games. So Lakers 6-2 over the last 8, Magic 6-3 over their last 9. They just put up 120 against the not my hapless Washington Wizards. I think both teams can get there tonight. If you're going to play this one, I would look at the over. And we've seen it go from 214.5 up to 215.5. And the nice thing about the Magic being involved is this is a very low total, considering the Lakers last game got over 260.
Yeah.
But when it comes down to it, I don't trust this team. I mean, we see all these documentaries made about teams in a good way. We need to get a documentary made about the Vancouver Canucks in a bad way. I mean, whether it's been to do with injuries, whether it's been to do with off-ice issues, whether it's been, the Pettersson and JT Miller situation. I feel like I mentioned this the last time I was on here, Prez, but distractions are just never a good thing for a lineup. I will stand on that. And, even when they're getting some key guys scoring goals, they're still giving up 5 goals. And they're now talking about rushing Thatcher Demko back into the lineup because they've had issues with goaltending. To me, whether it's been Quinn Hughes being out, whether it's trading away JT Miller, there's just been too many issues. They lose 3-1 to Utah. Then they go ahead and put up a good effort against the Jets. And they lose back-to-back again against the Blues and the Rangers. I don't trust this team. And as far as the Devils are concerned, we got to look at this price and understand why they're being priced the way that they are. This is a team that was without Jack Hughes, still has talent, still has ability, but yet they've lost 3 of their last 4 games. I want the hungry New Jersey Devils. I want a team that I trust with bounce-back ability. And I know this is kind of cliche because it doesn't work every time, but I want the team that just got called out to the media by their head coach. And Sheldon Keefe just called out his team and pretty much said, hey, you guys are talking about playoff hockey. You guys all got to start playing better right now. So I do think they get the job done. I have on Vancouver Canucks team total under 2.5 goals in this game. And I also think there's a small play worthy of making. -0.5 goal first period, plus 145 on the New Jersey Devils. This is a team that is going to be super desperate. They're kind of embarrassed over their past few games. I like them right now to get things going. I'm a big believer of teams bouncing back after being shut out. It's an angle I always look towards, whether it's looking for overs, first period overs, full games, or that team to win. And the Blue Jackets got shut out 1-0 against the Florida Panthers. And like you said, they put up 3 goals in their next game, but they gave up 6 goals against the Penguins. So it's like, hey, guys, you bounced back a little bit with 3 goals, but you still gave up 6 goals on the other side of it. So I get exactly what you're saying there, Prez. Sometimes it can be kind of tough to, fade a team that's lost that many games because you're like, man, maybe I've missed the boat because eventually they're going to have to turn things around. Updated picture there is Rangers plus 250 to make the playoffs. Red Wings 12-1. Blue Jackets 6-1. The Montreal Canadiens right now at about plus 130. And I think with this Islanders team, with them being around plus 210, I think they're a team that is going to make some plays here, Prez, because I think that they're finding the ability to win low scoring and high scoring games. That's what I like about this Islanders team right now. If we think about the New York Islanders past, if you wanted to take a nap, you put an Islanders game on, right? If you wanted to fall asleep watching a hockey game, and don't get me wrong, I can respect defensive hockey, but this team used to play very boring hockey. Now they've just put up 4 goals on the Panthers. They put up 4 goals on the Penguins. They put up 4 goals on the Canadiens. And even in that loss against the Flames on Saturday night, they still got that loser overtime point. Like Columbus is getting back Sean Monahan, but ultimately I like goals in this game. We're seeing a lower total. I like goals here, and I do think the Islanders get some goals. So 3.5 to the over, plus 115 team total. Columbus can do anything they want to try and fight back. They can put up goals themselves. I don't trust their defense, and I don't trust their goaltending. So I'm taking New York Islanders over 3.5 goals, plus 115. And I'll tell you, as much as it pains me to say it, as you know, I'm a Montreal Canadiens fan, and most of the WagerTalk audience knows as well, Prez. I want pretty much anything to happen in this game besides overtime. And you know how important just a point for both these teams would be. That number is plus 310. Plus 310. Those games, it's worth a sprinkle to get to overtime. Back-to-back games for the Islanders have gone to overtime. Well, Prez, I'll keep it simple. A lot of times we talk about the Florida double or the double in New York where they play the New York Islanders and the Rangers, or sometimes it'll be the Habs, and then the Leafs, for the West Coast teams. Well, a lot of times these teams will play the Vegas Golden Knights and then they'll play Utah Hockey Club, or they'll play Utah Hockey Club and then they'll play the Vegas Golden Knights. And I'll tell you what, Prez, oftentimes I notice the 1-1 split when it comes to those back-to-back games over there in Utah or in Vegas. And so in this spot, after watching Vegas put up a 6 spot on them, losing 6-3, I think we see the Red Wings bounce back here. And we've got a Utah team that played well against the Sabres, although everybody else seems to do that, putting up 5 goals and then putting up a 6-piece on the very Tampa Bay Lightning I was just speaking highly about. I think this is a spot for us to jump in on a pretty good price at plus 135 and back the Detroit Red Wings at this plus price. It's going to be very hard for Detroit to get back into the wild card hunt, but this to me is a game I do believe they bounce back in, and it's a nice plus price for us here on WagerTalk Today.